Welcome back. This week at Missouri Politics Midweek update of my AirPods in. Post primary, post state fair. We have a huge show. Kelton, did you not bring in the clue board and the red marker? Okay, folks, this is actually what happened is I forgot the clue board and the red marker. And I was trying to blame Kelton there. But so on this episode of This Week of Missouri Politics Midweek Update, we're going to be updating one of the departments. We're going to strike them off. Yeah, I think that's the move. I know that, folks, this is going to be unprofessional. Just strap in. This is going to shock you. Just walk. Yeah, I mean, Kelton was going to do the limbo thing, but I think it was more dignified to have him just walk right past the camera. So we're going to strike one department off of the board, and we are going. And I'm going to tell you, folks, it was nice to be at the state fair. I heard from so many people working in these departments. Thank you, sir, and the big red marker. I heard from so many people in these departments. You're not even going to believe this. I can tell you now with certainty. The comm staff, Kelton, I bought this thing where you could do rounds of applause. We can't do it yet, Kelton. Can you turn your mic on for a second? And let's do it together. To all the comm staff from all the departments, so professional, so good to work with. I've pretty well got this narrowed down, folks. I mean, when you play Clue, as we're playing together as a state right now, I'm not a big fan of guessing before you know, right? I'm not. Kelton's more of a gambler than I am. But I think I like to know when I guess. That's just what. Look, if you watch This Week of Missouri Politics, thank you to Governor Parson and Governor Kehoe. Kelton, let me just tell you, lots of folks have shows. Lots of folks have Sunday shows. Actually, pretty much just me. But who went Parson Kehoe on Sunday?
I think just you.
Boom, us, Thad, the folks at Outreach. But I mean, yeah, chef's kiss of a show. Kelton's gonna have lots of clips up. Programming announcement going to be out this week. Guess who's going to be the host, Kelton?
Oh, who?
Representative Wendy Hausman is going to be the guest host. We're putting together a show. The silver-tongued devil of Phelps County, Jack Cardetti, will be here. Jamie Berger heading across the rotunda to the Senate. Jim Schulte's going to be in. And then we're gonna have one more. I don't know who yet. Kelton's getting with Wendy to figure that out. So on the clue board, I've had so many folks from the departments. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. Steinem Knowledge Toast to the comms people at the Missouri State Government. Appreciate you guys. They've let me know. I'm down to just like 3 is all we really have. But folks, I've decided, Kelton, this is big news. We need like a Fox News alert. We got to get this. So we're gonna have some free time this week finally. Kelton, can you get the thing going where we can have the like breaking news update?
Oh yeah, I can work that out.
I mean, what do we got to do here? My thought was we'd have it like, you know how Fox is breaking news, Fox News alert. This could be like a Missouri Times bulletin, something like that. So we are going to announce. I'm going to make my guess. I'm going to make my guess on the clue board on September 10th at high noon. Kelton, can we, by September 10th, have filled all these in?
I think it's very possible.
Okay, Kelton, if we do a midweek update Thursday, can you be the one holding the big red marker and crossing someone off?
Yes, I can.
Okay, folks. Then we're going to be able to meet our target. September 10th, high noon, right here, we are going to announce the individual that we believe, could be no one, Kelton. Kelton, it could be no one. Kelton, do you think it's somebody that lives in Georgia that works here?
I that's a possibility.
Dude, I don't think that. You should not think it is a Georgian who's running a department in Missouri who doesn't actually ever show up here. You should not think that. I'm not telling you to think that. Kelton, I'm telling you. Do you think that, Kelton?
I don't want to jump to any conclusions.
That's how. You know why we're good at Clue? Is because Kelton and I don't jump to conclusions. It's like that jump to conclusion, Matt, in Office Space. We didn't play that, neither did anybody else. But so here's the deal. I believe, I'm confident. I'm gonna cast it out. Stein of knowledge prediction, Kelton. Let me take a big drink here. The Stein of Knowledge tells me, gosh, we could get like a cool sound effect for the Stein of Knowledge too.
I'll
It's
add it to the list.
Oktoberfest. This is a great Oktoberfest Stein. I'm in the Oktoberfest mood. Once that state fair's over, back to school, veto session, Oktoberfest. So, folks, I'm going to tell you, September 10th at high noon, we will be here and announce our guests in the Clue DEI detective game. I guess I'm not a DEI detective. I'm a DEI detective, but I'm not I don't think I'd qualify for being you know, if they made it to where your lineage lost world wars, I'd be set. You know, be a Kraut's paradise. So September 10th. Now, Kelton, are we ready for this? We are going to now announce the next person to take off of the big board here. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? We are going to now strike from the Clue DEI detective who was at the June 5th DEI conference. Anna Hugh is off the board. You could update your cards at home. She is industrial labor, industrial relations. She's off the board, Kelton. Anybody that had Anna Hugh in your home score sheet, knock her off. She's not it. That's going to leave us with Patrick McKenna, Sandy Carson, Drew Button, Levon Compton, Valerie Hune, Clora Myers, Biddet Boggs, Paula Nickerson, Carl Esslinger, Michelle Hadaway, Trevor Foley, Jason Summers, and Chris Chin. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 more to go. Kelton, can we cross 13 people off by September 10th?
We could certainly try.
It's going to be tough. Not going to be easy. But I think we can do it. I really believe we can do it. Would you like to take out an insurance policy that we could do it?
I don't know if I do that, but
well, they'd probably be up your ass for 50, years if you tried. So Kelton, on Thursday, if we come back here Thursday afternoon, let's just say Thursday morning. Could you do Thursday morning?
I can fit it into my schedule.
If I come on remotely from somewhere, could you sit here and cross this off in this chair?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, folks. Programming note. Wednesday, This Week in Missouri Politics by Wendy Hossman. Thursday, mid-morning, we're going to have a clue game where Kelton is going to cross someone off. Now, Kelton, I'm going to give you some advice here. It's not as easy to cross people off as you're thinking. I make it look easy. You have to get the marker. You got to hold it just right. It's on an incline kind of. It's not. I make it look easier than it is. But I think you're going to do fine. Folks at home, give Kelton a shout out. I think he'll do very well at this. And I could tell you, September 10th at high noon, I believe we will be able to narrow this down and find out which one is the DEI director. I mean, is it Jason? Is it Chris Chin? Could it be Trevor Foley? Could it be Biddet Boggs? I mean, could it be Drew Button? I mean, could it be the adjutant general? Who knows, Kelton? I can't say. I mean, I can say, but I'm not going to say until high noon, September 10th. We'll find out who we'll call it DEI Day in Missouri. Can we call it DEI Day, Kelton?
We can ask the governor, I'm sure.
Well, I think we should ask, who would be good to ask is Representative Ritchie. Because I'll tell you, Missouri, let me just tell you something. Doug Ritchie, everybody knew this was happening and a problem. I mean, most people. And I guess if you thought, some people don't think it's a problem. But I'd say the average old boy out swinging a hammer in the hot sun today probably does not think his tax dollars should go to DEI stuff. I'm just going to... Mike Kehoe ran, and he said, I'm going to get rid of all this. The University of Missouri, while I love you, Truman, not always known as a bastion of conservative thought, got rid of it. So I do think he probably doesn't want his tax dollars spent doing that. So we're gonna get to the bottom. High noon, September 10th. It's gonna be great. At Thursday, Kelton's gonna be up crossing one off. Man, that's gonna be a lot of work, Kelton. You think we can make it?
We can give it our best shot.
That's spoken kind of liberalish. I was like, hell yes. Like
Yes.
More Stone Cold Steve Austin than the genius is kind of what I'm thinking. So September 10th, I'll take some of your questions here. And at the end of the show, we are going to announce At 12:25, we're going to be announcing who we're going to be roasting on September 9th. So it would be DI Day Eve, September 9th, right? Kelton, can you put on the calendar the September 10th high noon, September 10th DI Day in Missouri? We will announce the suspect, the weapon, and the department in our Clue DI detective game.
I'll put it on there as soon as possible.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be dope. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, it's gonna be sweet. So we're stoked for that. Why don't you add up, Kelton, how many days it is till DEI Day? Can you add that up real quick?
Let me crunch the
It
numbers.
can't be that, but it's gonna be 20 something, right? Till it's DEI Day. All right, so then at 12:25 we're gonna announce that. Questions. Did you see the Holly Kuntz? Yes, I saw whatever that was. I'll give you my thoughts. Look, I watched Denny Hoskins kind of do this to Jay Ashcroft, and I was kind of impressed by it, if you want the truth. I thought it was a pretty solid play by Denny. I thought it was very good for his campaign and a smart move. Going forward, I thought I think Josh Hawley showed up, to the state fair to find Coons and do some form of this. Josh Hawley's a bright dude. He's got that great deep voice, and he's very intelligent, very fast on his feet. Of the people there will be a challenge to debate, especially for a more traditional guy like Kuntz. I don't know that anybody from a traditional format. That's why I thought Carla may be good because she'd be very unconventional. But in a straight up discussion of ideas, Josh Hawley's going to be hard to beat, period. Claire McCaskill, very hard to debate. Now, she had a very different way about her that probably more appealing to maybe a rule ear. But Josh Hawley's highly intelligent and would be very challenging to sit and talk issues with. Let me just tell you, folks, here's the problem. Like with Mike Kehoe, not going to the Liberals debate this past time. No one cared. Nobody cared. They just didn't care. Now, as a person in the media, do I wish voters cared? Yes, I do. Do I think there is some sort of intrinsic kind of loose responsibility, the kind of thing that would make Greg Keller's eyes roll? Is there some sort of public duty to do this? I think you could make that argument. But do the voters care? They don't give a damn if you debate. They just don't care. I wish they did. So, but prove me wrong. I mean, Kelton, Eigel and Ashcroft went to the debate with the Liberals in St. Louis, right?
Yes.
Kehoe was in Sheridan, Missouri that day in front of about 500 people. The entire town of Sheridan, Missouri. We live streamed it. Kelton, who won that race by a comfortable margin?
I believe Mr. Kehoe won.
I think so, too. So you can blame me if you want to for pointing. I mean, here's the thing about me. You can blame me for pointing out the way the world is, or you could try to change the world. If you think candidates should debate, which I'm with you. I agree. I think there is. I think you should see some. Do they have more to lose? Maybe. But if we don't make them stand up and say what they think, I believe candidates should debate. But I believe the voters don't give a damn what I believe. So I guess what I'm saying is the voters don't care. If Mikey, I think they're going to do the press association debate down in the lake or Branson or somewhere. Nobody will care. Nobody's going to watch. It's not public that I know of. Put out. Maybe it will be. And I mean, I always thought it was a mistake to have all the candidates up there. Look, libertarians. I mean you no harm. I come in peace. Peace and love, libertarians. Nobody cares. You're not going to win. And you're not in a state where it's close enough to even drag the Republicans down. So I don't understand all that. But, I mean, look, David Lieb, anything David Lieb's a part of is going to be outstanding. Nobody is more professional and a better dude than David Lieb. He's a straight-up guy. If David Lieb's a part of it, it'll be fine. Now, I've watched in the past, they have other journalists from around the state, and they come in there with their left-wing obsessions that no real person in the state cares about. And I have a theory, Kelton. If I can't tell what your politics are, if you're a journalist, you're probably right of center. What do you think?
I think that's a fair
Because 90% of journalists, you can just spot them a mile away. Liberal. David Lieb, I actually don't know what David Lieb's politics are. So in my white trash view of the world is he's dead center or a smidge right of center. Because every other one, you could just smell it off them. When they get off the bus, you could just smell liberal. Boom, 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 boom. Lieb, I don't know what Lieb is. Do you? I really don't.
I've never met the man.
Well, he's a hell of an old boy. You are too. He's a really good guy. I really don't know what he is. So makes me think maybe you maybe not what folks think. So I saw the Holly thing. I think Holly just didn't want to debate him 5 times or whatever. Five is too many. Let's be honest. That's too many. Lucas Kuntz, you know that's too many. Nobody's going to sign up for that. But I think having a couple be good. I do. I think Holly had a great move with the Farm Bureau. That all worked well. I think Holly came into that tent or metal building looking for him and going to do that. I don't think he came off looking great, if you want the truth. Like, when you get two men that close, Kelton, I mean, when's the last time you were in the lunchroom?
It's been a long
Well, if
time.
two guys are into it like that, the logical thing is let's go outside and fight. Neither one of them boys looked like they were up for that, right? It just they didn't put off that vibe. Therefore, the fight awkward was the way I would describe it. To answer your question, I saw it. I was probably from me to I was probably 15 feet away. I didn't even know what was going on. I thought maybe Holly, because Holly's a little taller than Coons. I could see Holly's hair in his head a little bit above the fray of reporters, and I just thought maybe he was giving some comments or saying something interesting. Because I mean, look, I'm gonna get to Josh Hall in a second, but I've had four. One of the biggest questions of the show is, what do you think of Holly? And it's always hard to say. I'm going to answer that here before we make our unveiling at 12:25 of our person we're going to roast. So the truth is, I thought Holly went in there to say, okay, I'm just going to get in a verbal joust and then say, why don't you come to my Farm Bureau thing? Which, if I'm Coons, I probably would have done it, right? I don't know why he didn't. What did you got to lose? I mean, look, folks, look, I would love to see a competitive Senate race in Missouri. Again, it's in my interest if candidates want to do debates. I would love if the voters made them. I don't still think the voters care. It would be in my interest. Vote, Missouri. Listen to me, please. Make candidates do debates. It's good. It's good for me. A competitive U.S. Senate race is good for me. I don't know that this one's going to be one. I don't see it. I don't see it yet. I don't think Kamala Harris does Kuntz any favors. The abortion thing on the ballot helps. I think if you had Joe Biden at 80% what he was in 2020 with abortion, then you can start to get there. I just don't know that we'll see Kamala Harris. Her personality could click, but until it clicks in suburban Missouri, I'm not seeing it. I'm open to being wrong, and it's in my interest if I am. I'm not seeing it, but I think Holly went in there and said, "I'm just gonna do this. If I'm Coons, I'm gonna lose. So show up, right?" And to me, at the end of the day, if you're gonna have one of those high school cafeteria room scrums, I personally, without Denny Hoskins, I think would have fought JS. Denny's got a temper. You saw it on video, right? Did we play that?
We did play that video.
When I go back and write the highlights of this cycle, how is that not a highlight? I mean, that was as far as a remarkable thing to see. That was a hell of a deal. Kelton, let me ask you. Kelton was setting up at the streaming studio at the time. If you've seen the clips, I just look like two guys that weren't gonna fight and didn't really have the best cut downs. You know what I mean? Because Josh Hawley's like a really intelligent dude. A cut down contest almost requires you to be like me, not that bright. I don't think either of them look particularly good in it. But I think now Holly can say, well, I tried to debate you, whatever, piss off, right? I think that's and it was, look, you ain't going to outsmart Josh Hawley. The dude's smart. I thought it was a smart move by him to just be like, okay, let's just debate right here. You're going to whine about debates all the time. Well, let's just debate, right? But what'd you take from it?
I thought they both looked a little weird, like they were about to kiss or something.
Yes, Colin Reichman did come up with the best. Actually, Carrie Engel said it. That's the thing I remember is Carrie Engel did scream, or not scream, but yell. And I was kind of on the same side because it was in the middle of the place, kind of about 2/3 towards where you come in at, right in the middle of the room. And she says, kiss already, which I thought was funny. I'll give you my, all right, I've had a few more. My take on Hawley is this. He's a smart dude. My take on Josh Hawley is if you were anybody watching this, any politician we've ever covered, if they were in the position Josh Hawley was in to jump into politics at the attorney general spot, they would. If they had the funding, they'd take advantage of all of it. If after they went on Thursday, they said, you're going to be our nominee for United States Senate in a very winnable race, you would all do it. Was the office ran that great? No, probably not. Did he have balls of steel in dealing with Greitens? You damn right he did. And to say, and this is going to be hard for some of my more liberal friends, to say Eric Greitens leaves without Josh Hawley just having balls of steel, I'm not sure that's it. But the guy had him. And I didn't see a lot in Josh Hawley until I saw him at that press conference and how strong he was and how every point he could push back on. You want to thump chests about Eric Greitens, you better throw Josh Hawley, and it's just right. He did stick up hardcore for what he felt was right. That's why when he talks about the Christian stuff, when politicians start telling me about Christian stuff, I usually roll my eyes. I actually think that's what the guy's beef was. I think it was legitimate. Like with John Lamping. John is my friend. He's the most negative person I personally know. Maybe having great hair makes you more negative, which I don't know. Because when you wake up, you comb your hair, right? You think you'd be like in a good mood combing that beautiful mane of John's, but it doesn't last. But a guy, I remember John Lamping was a huge Greitens guy. Greitens said everything Lamping loves. He hated everybody in Missouri and everything anybody had ever done, which is music to John's ears. But John Lamping, I'm going to tell you this, of the people I know in Jeff City who went home alone at night, I put John Lamping on my list. And there's a lot more people that go home every single night they're here than you'd think, or maybe the media wants you to think. But the people that I would truly bet my house went home alone every night, he is. He lived it. He may be harsh, but he actually lived, from my perspective, that life. So he's got more of a right to be harsh than somebody that's just bullshitting. But Lamping at some point, you pull back on Greitens. I think a lot of Hawley's dislike for him came from that. And I think it's legitimate. I don't know what a Christian nationalist even is. Do you know what that even is, Kelton?
I'm not 100% sure.
I have no idea what that is. Don't really care. On the plus side, let's start with the negatives. That's what everybody wants to hear. He could do more for the state. He could be a little more Missouri focused. I think that's a criticism that I would agree with. Does he vote like the state would like? Yeah, I think he kind of does. Could he? I think him and Schmidt both really do a poor job on not having earmarks. I think that's really a bad move. I disagree, and I think highly of Eric Schmidt. I disagree with him totally on that. I disagree with Hawley on that. I think you could see a little more Missouri focus from Josh Hawley. But as far as like the positives, I very much enjoy following his career for this reason. He's so smart, and his thoughts, logical, intelligent people's thoughts progress and develop over time. I have enjoyed watching his relationship with organized labor grow. It's something that I agree with. Now, you want to get into some of the government sector unions, fine. But the fact he came out against right to work, Josh Hawley is a very smart dude. I enjoy hearing him speak. I enjoy following his career and watching the maturation of his thought processes. And I don't always agree with him, but I like if you listen to Josh Hawley, not do an interview, because those are generally just him punking some reporter trying to land liberal talking points. But if you listen to a speech or something, or you just chart the data points of where his social media or whatever, you either he persuades you or you learn more about yourself. Iron sharpens iron. And I have to say, I've never been his biggest fan, but I have enjoyed watching the progression of some of the things that he's done, and I think he's an important voice in the National Republican Party on this. I think he's where everybody else is going to be. The realignment is prevalent with Josh Hawley, and I've enjoyed watching that progression. Now, I get it. It's a campaign year, and Democrats are already texting me about it. It may be BS. I don't know. Is he going to be dug back? No, he's not going to be dug back. But for a leading political figure in the Republican side to say he's against right to work is a big deal. It takes balls. It's a big deal. And I respect that. I respect folks that do that. And I have grown to respect Josh Hawley because of that intellect. And again, nobody's perfect. You want to say he should do more stuff in Missouri? I'm with you. I think that's a fair criticism. But he does make you think, and I like that. The one thing he doesn't do that I've seen, he doesn't go get on Twitter and just repeat whatever crap someone on Twitter says. It's thought through, and I respect that. All right, Kelton, are you ready to announce the roastee September 9th, 6 p.m., Missouri Soybean Association. The man we're going to roast is Dr. John Patterson. We're going to have our 30 under 30s. You can start sending them to Kelton at MissouriTimes.com. Is that correct?
Yes, that is the email.
And the September 9th, 6 p.m., the Missouri Soybean Association, the night before veto session. Kelton, how many days until DEI Day?
22 days.
22 days till DEI Day. 21 days until the roast of Dr. John Patterson. We are going to have a great time. Kelton, I think we'll start next week telling the roasters. But join us the night before veto session. We're going to roast Dr. John Patterson. How many house jokes can we tell? My God, I've just got to go back through my phone and just do LOL House, the hashtag, and pull out great stuff. We could talk about Lee's Summit. I think that's going to be fun. It is going to be a fun night. The Rape Crisis Center of Jeff City is the charity he's picked. We'll be making a donation. Hope you will too. I'm going to go through. I've got a few folks that are going to be great roasters. I'm very excited, and we always have our secret roast. Our surprise roaster is going to come in. Don't exactly know who that's going to be yet, and if I did, I couldn't tell you. It's almost like the clue board. But so 21 days till then, 22 before DEI Day, right, Kelton?
That's the count. Dr.
John Patterson will be our person we're roasting, and DEI countdown, high noon. September 9th, 6 p.m., the roast, high noon. September 10th, right here. This week in Missouri Politics Midweek Update will be our DEI Detective Clue game will be announced. And until then, till Thursday, where Kelton's going to mark somebody else off, we'll see you Sunday with